I'm Michael George in President-elect Biden's hometown of Wilmington, Delaware. I'll show you how he spent his first day as president-elect and what we know about his first plans when he takes office.
Dozens of Trump supporters gather on 7th and Range Line in Joplin to protest against the election results. I'm Caitlin Shive. That's coming up.
And four staters mourn the loss of a familiar face and World War II veteran.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
Joe Biden's presidency starts on Inauguration Day, but with a pandemic and battered economy, he's trying to get a head start on addressing the nation's challenges. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Kate Kelly. CBS News correspondent Michael George is in Wilmington, Delaware, with the latest.
The day after his victory speech, President-elect Joe Biden attended church and stopped by the gravesite of his son, Beau.
The people of this nation have spoken. They've delivered us a clear victory, a convincing victory.
At Saturday night's rally, Biden said he plans to form a COVID task force as new cases in the U.S. continue to reach record heights.
They're going to take the Biden COVID plan that involves robust testing, tracing, and dealing with the economic fallout.
After a round of Sunday golf, President Trump tweeted about the election outcome. Since when does the lamestream media call who our next president will be? We've all learned a lot in the last 2 weeks. Trump's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, says lawsuits challenging the 2020 election results will be filed this week. On Sunday, the Trump campaign held a news conference in Las Vegas, alleging issues with Nevada ballots.
This campaign has not laid our eyes on a ballot signature, an envelope signature, and a voter roll signature on a single one of those 600,000 voters.
So far, President Trump has offered no evidence of his claims of voter fraud. Here in Wilmington, Delaware, where the president-elect is known as Uncle Joe, many told us they've seen firsthand the qualities he'll bring to the White House.
It's just so nice to see that just the community coming together behind someone who's going to hopefully do so much good for all of us.
And with its hometown hero heading to the White House, this city of just over 70,000 is about to get an even bigger place on the political map. Michael George, CBS News, Wilmington, Delaware.
Senior White House officials tell CBS News the president will concede when all legal options are exhausted and when the final numbers reflect a Biden win. Trump supporters across the country are coming together for Stop the Steal protests, making claims about voter fraud, including in our four-state area. KOAM's Caitlin Shive reports on one of those rallies in Joplin.
Stop the Steal rallies have erupted across the country following the news that Joe Biden is the projected winner of the 2020 election.
This is a group of patriots that want to show our support for President Trump and promote Stop the Steal, because we believe this election was stolen from President Trump and a lot of other GOP senators.
Around 100 people gathered on 7th and Range Line in Joplin to do the same, waving around Trump flags and signs that displayed the words Stop the Steal and other sayings in support of Donald Trump.
We could see all the support throughout the United States that President Trump had. It was unbelievable.
Terry Edwards has been promoting the rally on social media for the past 2 days, hoping for a big turnout.
The sidewalk's full, the parking lot's full. It's awesome that Joplin has came out to support our president. I want people to realize what has been done. The integrity of our election system is not looking good right now, and we want that changed.
Dola Michelle with the Joplin for Justice group released a statement to KOAM in response to the Stop the Steal rally and reaction from Trump supporters, saying, "I appreciate seeing people engaged in politics and taking actions such as protests. Still, my initial reaction was sadness that Trump supporters are falsely claiming manipulation of the election results without evidence." She also added, "Legal processes will affirm the integrity of the counts, then hopefully opposition will get on board and use their energy to fight for decency and a better tomorrow for all people." In Joplin, Caitlin Shive, KOAM News.
Edwards added that there is talk of Stop the Steal rallies happening every week. Nick Kelly joins us now, and another lovely day to get outside and really enjoy all that sunshine.
Yeah, it was a nice and warm day, Kate, but still something we shouldn't say for November. Normally on a day like this, we should be topping out at 63. Forget that. We hit 79 this afternoon after we started at 58 degrees this morning. We've seen partly cloudy skies throughout the course of the evening, but we've been slowly seeing more cloud cover develop now across parts of Kansas and Oklahoma as more moisture from the Gulf gets pulled in with our south wind still in place. While we're still keeping an eye on our next cold front that will start to change things up once we go into Monday night and Tuesday. But for most of Monday proper, we're still going to be ahead of that front. So we'll keep the south wind in place, keep temperatures in the mid-60s overnight. You could twist my arm that we could see a stray shower in the morning, but I really think we're dry for much of the day. And in fact, even partly sunny skies again by the afternoon with highs around 77. We'll let you know when fall returns and when our next chance of rain will start to roll in coming up in a bit, Kate.
All right, thanks, Nick. Over at the McCune Farm to Market store, folks got crafty making holiday signs today. This is one of their first classes they brought back after putting activities on hold due to COVID-19. They are still keeping things relatively small. A total of 15 people could sign up to paint these Christmas-themed signs.
We normally do classes 2 or 3 times a month, but with the pandemic, all of our classes have been suspended. So we're excited to be able to offer a smaller, safer version of our class so people can make some unique Christmas gifts and socialize a little bit.
You can learn more about activities at the McCune Farm to Market store by checking out the link that we've shared in this article on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Beer and trivia lovers came together for a night of knowledge at Beard Engine Brewing in Alba, Missouri today. Patrons were invited to participate, coming up with a fun team name for their group. From there, the game was on as people competed on some general knowledge questions. Trivia night began after some regulars brought the idea up to the owners.
Well, we have 2 patrons that come basically every Sunday, and they're the one that kind of pitched the idea, and they actually give us all the questions. She literally makes us our answer sheets, our question sheets, and prints out all the sheets for everyone. She does everything for us.
Winners, of course, get beer and bragging rights. That's news and weather in our first 7 minutes. Just ahead, more shoppers say they're looking for ways to save as they budget for upcoming holidays. We'll take a look. Plus, COVID cases continue to surge, setting yet another new record. Details ahead. With all eyes on the election, the U.S. suffered its worst week of the pandemic. Nearly 10 million confirmed cases are being reported in the U.S. More than 237,000 have died, the most in the world. Adriana Diaz has the latest.
Wisconsin's surge is pushing COVID into new territory. Through these doors, Madison's University Hospital, which we visited more than 2 weeks ago, is expanding its COVID care to an additional ICU. Wisconsin is one of 27 states that broke records for new daily cases this week. 8 states have reimposed restrictions. In contrast, these 16 states don't have a state mask mandate, leaving mask wearing up to individuals. And in Missouri, a poll worker who knew she had COVID died on election night after working 15 hours as an election judge supervisor. Officials say she had limited contact with voters. Then there's Susan Three Iron's daughter, Elvia Ramirez, the youngest person in North Dakota to die from COVID.
She loved hanging out with her friends, driving around, listening to music, and she loved TikToks.
COVID cases among Native Americans and Alaska Natives are 3.5 times greater than among white Americans, according to a CDC study from this summer. Elvia's mother became a COVID patient herself and was taken to another hospital. From there, she recalls watching her daughter via video link when the screen went black.
My daughter's heart stopped. I put the phone beside her. I told her I love her. I had to say goodbye. Across town, not seeing her, not being able to touch her, hold her.
The Native American was just 17 years old. Adriana Diaz, CBS News, Milwaukee.
Turkey Day is fast approaching, and many four-state families are gearing up for the annual feast. But like just about everything, COVID is changing the way some people choose to celebrate and shop. Noelle Williams reports in Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
Many people may find themselves in a financial bind this Thanksgiving because of the rise in prices of groceries during COVID-19. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, in 2020, food at home prices have increased by 3.4%. Despite the changes, people still plan to celebrate Thanksgiving as they usually would.
Honestly, I think that the Sales for this Thanksgiving will be better than it has in the past, just for the fact that a lot of people may be staying at home. So I think they're going to do a lot more family-oriented meals.
Manager of Harp's Food Store in Jackson, Kevin Groves, says they anticipate the shelves to be stocked as normal, but customers may see a change in price.
Prices have went up on stuff. The main thing is we're able to get a lot of the items back in that we haven't been able to get for a while.
Some say they intend to keep the holiday spirits, but plan to search for cheaper brands when shopping for the upcoming holiday.
Yes, it's going to be a typical traditional traditional meal on Thanksgiving at noon.
We're a lot more picky about the brands. Now you actually look at the brands and see which is cheaper.
Groves recommends shopping for your Thanksgiving groceries earlier in case there is a run on certain items.
The CDC has provided a list of tips for hosting holiday gatherings with suggestions of outdoor activities or a virtual celebration to help lower the risk of COVID-19 transmission. A little later, we'll look back on the life of longtime Jeopardy host Alex Trebek.
But first, we'll get through one more warm day before fall returns, and so do the rain chances. Forecast up next. We managed to hold off on the cloud cover for today, at least the mostly cloudy skies that originally we were anticipating. So that means after we saw some cloud cover this morning, in fact, mostly cloudy skies from this start of the time lapse outside of Seneca, Missouri over indigo sky, we saw partly sunny skies throughout the course of our Sunday to wrap up this weekend. What did that do for temperatures? Well, the sun with a good south wind at 10 to 20 during the day meant temperatures starting in the upper 50s this morning and shooting up into the mid 70s across so much of the area. Upper 70s around Pittsburgh and Joplin, and even Nevada flirting with the 80-degree mark this afternoon. These aren't record-breaking numbers, but again, these are numbers well above normal. We should not be this warm for November, but it's not going to last long. We have one more warm day lined up, and appropriately enough, it'll be our Monday as we kick off the new work week and school week ahead of us. We've been seeing temperatures staying mild all evening long, and we're not going to drop off much more from here on out. I'm expecting us, at least around the Joplin area, to drop back to 64, and then we'll go back to 77, despite fighting partly sunny and mostly cloudy skies ahead of our next storm system. For the time being, though, the Skywatch Storm Tracker has been seeing quiet skies all day long, all evening long, but we are seeing some more cloud cover getting going across parts of Kansas and Oklahoma as our south winds in place. This wants to bring in some more tropical moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, and it will play its part when our next cold front comes out of the Central Plains. This is not only going to bring rain and thunderstorms back in here for late Monday night and Tuesday, but it, on the backside of the front, along with this pair of upper level lows wanting to push a jet stream back to our south and east, that's going to bring fall-like air back into the fold. So hopefully you can enjoy this warm Monday that we have lined up for us, no matter where you are across the area. It'll start with mostly cloudy skies in the morning, most of us in the mid-60s. And with this extra influx of moisture on the way, resulting in our mostly cloudy skies tonight, you could twist my arm and say, yeah, there could be a stray shower possible in the morning. Truth be told, I really think we'll stay dry throughout much of our Monday all across the area. And again, with partly sunny skies for the afternoon, I think we'll be warm once again. 64 in the morning, 73 by noon, highs near 77 with the south wind at 10 to 20, and at times gusts pushing near 30. Let's fast forward to Monday night. Here's 10 o'clock. Quiet to start the night out. But look out in central Kansas. The cold front will start to march in. Here's 6 a.m. Tuesday ahead of the front. It's going to be at our warmest point for our Tuesday with upper 60s for highs. Then once we get this band of rain and thunderstorms for our Tuesday morning out of the picture, come Tuesday afternoon, we'll clear out, but we'll see temperatures drop back into the 50s for the rest of Tuesday afternoon. As far as rain to expect with this front, up to about ½ an inch across much of the area. And very quickly, we wanted to show you, once we get on the backside of this system on the way, we're quiet for Wednesday, our Veterans Day, before we see the next upper low out west kick into gear and bring in more rain chances by Friday and Saturday. So 77, a warm Monday before we see temperatures tumble back into fall on Tuesday with thunderstorms during the morning. Veterans Day starts cold, but we'll bounce back to highs near 60, 65 on Thursday. Then another shot for rain Friday and Saturday, Kate.
All right, overall, not a bad week for November.
Not too bad at all.
All right, thanks, Nick. Coming up later in sports, the Kansas City Chiefs look to hand Carolina a 4th straight loss. Also, we'll hear from siblings who are pretty successful on the cross-country course. Stick around. Alex Trebek, the beloved host of Jeopardy for more than 3 decades, has died at the age of 80 after a nearly 2-year battle with pancreatic cancer. He died at home early Sunday with family and friends at his side. CBS News correspondent Chris Martinez has more on the life of the legendary TV game show host.
Alex Trebek became the host of Jeopardy in 1984 when Merv Griffin hired him for the revival of the popular TV quiz show. Jeopardy soon became a daily ritual for millions, even on the silver screen.
Of course, it's 27 minutes of Jeopardy.
Over the years, with Trebek as its ever-present host, the show, where answers are always in the form of a question,
James with Polk,
won multiple daytime Emmys, and it gave game shows a new and brainy edge.
America is a very competitive society. I can throw the ball farther than you. I can run faster than you. I can do better on Jeopardy than you. Oh yeah? Let's find out.
Trebek started his career in journalism as a reporter with the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. The Ontario native made his American TV debut in 1973 as MC of The Wizard of Oz. In 2017, Trebek suffered a setback when he hit his head and underwent surgery. Then in March of 2019, Trebek told fans around the world that he had stage 4 pancreatic cancer, but he promised he would not give up.
The prognosis for this is not very encouraging, but I'm going to fight this.
As he was receiving treatment for cancer, Trebek spoke with Jane Pauley on CBS Sunday Morning.
For 35 years, I've enjoyed the success of the show, but I've never really thought about the impact the program was having on American viewers. And I've become part of their lives.
Trebek hosted more than 7,000 episodes of Jeopardy! Chris Martinez, CBS News.
Trebek began his game show career in 1966 on Reach for the Top in his native Canada. Today, we also remember the vibrant life of Keith Fiscus, a World War II veteran who made Joplin his home. Fiscus died at the age of 95 on Friday. You may remember him from his time as a greeter at the 15th Street Walmart in Joplin. He worked there for nearly 40 years. Fiscus was in Army intelligence and reported directly to General Patton. He served 9 months as a German prisoner of war. We take this time now to honor another four-state hero. Jerry Bobeck Jr. served in the Navy from 1946 to 1960. His hometown, Caldwell, Kansas. We thank you, Jerry Bobeck Jr., our four-state hero. Welcome back. The Kansas City Chiefs have been pretty good this season. Entering the day, Kansas City is 7-1 on the year, winning their last 3 consecutive contests. The Chiefs are back at Arrowhead today facing the Carolina Panthers. Patrick Mahomes looking to make some history today. Opening drive, 4th down for Carolina. Teddy Bridgewater throws a screen to Christian McCaffrey. Goes 9 yards for the score. Panthers strike first. Late second quarter, Chiefs down 14-6. Mahomes rolls, finds DeMarcus Robinson for the 2-yard touchdown. Chiefs would head into the locker room down 4. Third quarter, off the play action, Mahomes finds Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 4-yard score. Chiefs now leading 20-17. And in the fourth quarter, Mahomes fires deep to a wide open Tyreek Hill. Mahomes, fastest quarterback to reach 100 passing touchdowns in just 40 games. Later, 1st and goal for Kansas City. Mahomes to Hill again. Kansas City 33-24 at that point. 2 seconds to play. Carolina down 2. Joey Sly attempting an NFL record 68-yard field goal kick way off the mark. Chiefs hold off the Panthers, winning 33-31. Kansas City heads into the bye 8-1 on the year. Competition runs in the family for 2 siblings. Together, Kaylee and Cormac Logue have 6 Kansas high school state cross-country championships. We caught up with the 2 on how they push each other on the course. Matt Logue hoped to share his passion for running with his 2 kids, not knowing it would turn out even better than he imagined.
When my kids were younger, I thought it would be really enjoyable if one of them liked to run cross country, and I got to coach one of my two kids. And then to have them both be so successful, I never dreamed I'd ever coach a state champion, much less two.
Matt's oldest, Kaylee, ran for him at Girard from 2014 to 2017, collecting 9 individual state track titles and 4 cross-country championships.
I remember my freshman year, I won cross country, and Cormac walked up to me and he said, like, he wasn't very pleased. And I was like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "Now I have to try to do the same thing," kind of like sibling rivalry.
Kaylee's younger brother, Cormac, has found his own success as a Trojan. Last week, the senior captured his 2nd straight 4A boys state cross-country title.
With the background that we have in running, that has set us up to do these type of things, I feel like a big part of that is, our prep in high school and our coaching.
The pandemic allowed the siblings to train together before the cross-country season.
She came home because of COVID, and when she did, we would go on, easy runs, and we just kind of would keep each other honest.
Our family is competitive in a fun way, so it's not like it ends up being part of your identity or part of like a bitterness, but it's really fun to train together and to root for each other.
That training over the summer paid off for Kaylee. She won a 3rd straight Big 12 women's cross-country title for Iowa State with her family watching, the day before Cormac won his 2nd state title.
They've actually never been able to come to a Big 12s before because they coach our high school team, and state and Big 12s always fall on the same weekend. But since both, state and the Big 12s are in Kansas this year, they did a lot of driving, but they were able to be at both, and I was very thankful for that.
As far as sibling rivalry goes,
I wouldn't want Cormac and me to be compared too much. I think he has a very unique path, a very unique experience, and he puts in the work himself and does a great job. So I was happy to see his state titles and to kind of see dreams that he had voiced even when he was a little kid.
That's a look at sports. Back with more news after this. Nick, one last look at those great temperatures.
At least for one more day, they're looking at great temperatures. Warm tomorrow, once again, with highs near 77. We're dry for Monday, but our next front rolls in Tuesday morning with it. Thunderstorms in the morning before we clear things out. 69 and dropping into the 50s for Tuesday. And then dry, but looking okay for Veterans Day. Highs near 60.
Thanks for watching. Have a good night and a great Monday.